Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Christopher David Lawson of NEPA. Today we're going to be installing this 12-inch light bar from Lasfit. Let's go ahead and roll the video. Alright folks, before we go ahead and install this, I'm going to be installing this on my 2022 Ford Maverick. This is a universal application. It's not specific to the Maverick, but that's what I'm installing it on today. This is a combination flood and spotlight, 30 watts, 6000K white light. It's got a 3-year warranty. It's made out of aviation grade aluminum. This has the plug and play waterproof DT connector. Also included in the box with the light is side and bottom mount connectors. You can also buy this kit separate. You don't have to buy it with this wiring, but I recommend it highly. This is all ready to go, folks. It's got the inline fuse, 40 amp relay. The wiring harness has the switch for inside. It sticks on with two-sided tape, so you don't have to make any holes on your dashboard. Like I said, it's got the connector already to connect to the light. Real easy install, folks. Let's go ahead and get started on that. The first thing I start off with is to remove this grommet inside the cab. We're going to pull this connector apart. This is going to be the first part we work on installing in the truck. Alright, for this part, for running the wiring to the firewall, it's going to be easier to take that little rubber grommet piece out of the firewall. We're going to drill a little tiny hole right here. And then, of course, I took the connector pin off. Once I drill the hole, that way I have the smallest hole drilled possible to run this through. And then I can put the connector back together once we have it on the inside. Let's drill the hole now. Just drill a hole big enough to run the wire through. You don't really want to do too big of a hole. Kind of reamed out a little bit. You should be able to push those through there. And of course, like I said, just push them through gently. Then after that, everything should go right in, and now you have your connection ready to go for your switch. And of course, once you're through the hole, just make sure you got your connector in the right direction, and you just snap all the pins back in to where they go. All right, for mounting the switch, folks, all I did, you can mount this wherever you want to with a two-sided tape. Just use a little alcohol pad. I put it next to my other light switches, and I just ran it here underneath the dash. And there's the wiring harness. We're going to be trying to go through the firewall. I already took this one piece out. I don't know if I can show you. Right there, there's a rubber grommet. All right, we're going to do this real quick, folks. For this next part, I'm going to actually try to fish the wire back through down where that hole is without taking the battery out. Be careful not to touch your wires too much on the connections of the battery. Basically, just want to fish it back down into the hole. This is the easiest way to do it without having to remove your battery. You got the wiring fished through there. This is why I think it's easier to actually start from the cab area first to run the wires. Now all we got to do is connect everything, and we'll just pull back what wiring we need to pull back into the engine bay area. All right, everybody, now that I got the wiring run through, I secured the relay here on the side, and I neatened up the wires and stuck them back there. Now what I'm doing is trying to run the wires down through the bottom. I went ahead and put my truck up on ramps so I could get down in here and run the wiring down through. I already have it fished down here. What I have to do here now that I have the wire run down to the bottom, I actually have to make a hole that goes through big enough to fit the connector so I can connect it on the other side. And then so far my plan is to mount it here. And what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to knock off a couple of these and mount it right here. All right, folks, I'm cutting this piece out. I already started with it. All I'm doing is I took a little sharp razor blade and just very carefully, this stuff will shave right off. So you'll be able to tuck the light back in here a little bit better once you get rid of these. All right, folks, this by far is the most difficult part of this project. Trying to get the connector a big enough hole to fit back in there. I have this zip tied where it's going to be for now, just so I can get the wiring brought over. I had to crawl underneath here. And you know how these modern vehicles are, there really isn't that much room. But I could stick my hand up in there and get the two connectors back together. So the connectors are all together. The only thing I don't have done so far is connected to the battery, obviously for wiring. But now I'm going to go ahead and permanently install the light itself. But basically that's the toughest part, just getting that damn connector in there. And of course now you got to kind of wire, make sure you're not caught up on everything. Nice thing is I know where that is now. If I need to unhook the light for some reason, get underneath here and unhook it. All right, for this next part, folks, basically I just need to center this the best I can. I'm not getting a tape measure, none of that crap out. I'm just gonna get it as close as I can. These little side pieces here should help you kind of line it up a little bit. But basically I'm gonna mark where it is. I don't want to have it too far back because I don't want it hitting the plastic piece back here. So I'm just gonna have it a little bit over the edge here. And of course I'm doing this on a Maverick. You might be doing this on a different vehicle, but I doubt it since you're watching my video. But I'm gonna go ahead and mark both sides where I want to put it with a marker, and then I'm gonna have to drill a couple small holes so I can run the bolts through there. All right, now we're just going to go ahead and install the brackets. I took the brackets off the light. I'm using the side mount brackets, but I'm also taking a couple pieces from the bottom mount brackets, just the rubber gasket part or whatever it is, rubber mount pieces, and a couple extra washers I'm going to go ahead and put in there. But we'll just go ahead. I'm putting them this way, folks, so they kind of stick out a little bit. Oops, trying to show you the best that I can. We'll go ahead and install those now. All right, before I tighten these brackets down all the way, I got them pretty much secured. I made sure it was loose enough to where I could get the light bar back in here and, of course, get these adjusted. Lasfit does send you this Allen wrench to tighten these. Of course, that's going to be how you adjust your beam up and down. You know, get it aimed so it's not aimed in the other driver's faces and stuff. But I recommend, of course, adjusting at nighttime, but keeping this in your glove box just in case you do need to adjust it for some reason. I also recommend running a couple zip ties too. That way you don't have to worry about your wiring going back into the louvers behind there. All right, everybody, I kind of got everything secured up here, all the lines, kind of stuffed all the extra line down there, zip tied everything together. This is all we got left, folks. Just connect to the battery and turn the light on, see if it works. All right, folks, moment of truth. Let's see if it works. We got a green light here. Let's go up front, see if the light's on. And we have light. All right, I'm gonna come back after dark and we'll see how good this light works. All right, folks, we're back outside here now. Let's go ahead and fire these lights up and see how bright they are. This is what it means when it's a spotlight and floodlight. You can see how the beam's kind of focused up the middle and it lights up the whole area. This is going to be a great addition at nighttime when I'm driving home from work. This is what it looks like from inside the cab right now. I'm going to go ahead and start the truck. All right, now my regular headlights are actually on right now, and you can see the light is lighting up pretty well. I'm going to have to adjust it. It looks a little bit too high. See, we'll shut it off. That's what the light looks like with just my headlights. And that's with the Lasfit 12-inch light bar. Definitely going to have to adjust that though. That's going to be blinding other drivers. But you get the idea how bright these things are. Off. On. Really nice addition to the truck. All right, folks, thanks for tuning into my video. I'll leave a link in the description so you can order these from Lasfit. You also get to use my discount code. Check it out. Thanks for watching. Check out all my other Ford Maverick videos and Lasfit videos. Bye for now.